The real estate in Lagos by 2035 is going to become one of the biggest wonders. A lot of expectation will be exceeded. And of course, a lot of people will also hold regrets by undermining the potential of the Lagos State real estate market. I know a lot of people have hurriedly concluded that nothing is going to come out from Nigeria. Now, your conclusion basically does not hide the facts and, of course, the figures. It is quite sad that even foreigners, the Chinese, the French, and every other eagle-eyed investors are investing massively in Lagos. So on today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the costs of not owning real estate in Lagos by 2035. This fact is backed up with statistical data and other empirical evidence that you can use to confirm. So you don't want to miss any part of this video. Endeavor to watch this video to the end, subscribe to this channel, and trust me, you'll be glad that you are watching this. See you after the short timeout. Don't go nowhere. Let's talk about one of the major things you will miss out from the Lagos real estate market if you don't own any portion of it by 2035. The first one is the rise of the rental inflation. Now, recently, we also saw that rental hikes moved from 39% to 46% only in 2024. That also means that apartment prices are also increasing by 200%. If you rent a one-bedroom as at 2022-2023 in Lagos, a one-bedroom apartment as at that time was around 700,000, but presently right now is around 1.5 million in central areas. Now, the projection basically is that the average rent in Lagos increases by 10%. That means by 2025, that same one-bedroom apartment, I said 2025, by 2035, that same one-bedroom apartment that costs between 1.5 to 2 million today will increase to 4.5 million. This is because there's going to be a 2.6% increase on rental properties. Now, this is due to the fact that if you look at areas where real estate is highly profitable, 3 locations come to mind. The first place is Lagos, the second place is Port Harcourt, the third place is Abuja. Thank God that the Asaba real estate market is beginning to get into limelight, but you can't. Now, the reason for this basically is due to the fact that the projection of the Lagos as a economic hub of Nigeria, this is due to the fact that Lagos alone contributes 60% of the gross domestic product to the nation's economy, and everybody wants to be in Lagos. The second thing that will happen if you don't own real estate in Lagos is due to the fact that you will have no equity and zero wealth appreciation. Let me explain what this means. Now, when we talk about increase or equity, you cannot talk about having a good return on investment if you don't have an investment that is appreciating in value. Presently, I have also witnessed of how property prices moved within 3 years from 45 million to 94 million. And this is equally applicable in the areas of Banana Island and other places. And you need to understand basically that there is no regulation for pricing. And this is why it is very important that those who are even into real estate development today are billionaires. They're enjoying the autonomy, and of course that there is no regulation of the price markets. Now, a lot of things have contributed majorly to this, and this is due to the fact that inflation is also playing its major role. Now, we have seen how building materials are skyrocketing even on a daily basis. Recently, I gave an instance of, we started a fencing project for an investor who's based in diaspora, and as at the time we started that construction, we're buying a bag of cement for 8,500, and as at the time we're able to complete that project, we spent 10,500 for that same bag of cement. Now, the economy basically right now is struggling, and this is why you need to look at it beyond that struggling phase, because you see, at the moment the economy can pass its struggling phase and get to a place where stability is guaranteed, a lot of people will not be able to afford real estate as at that time. In addition to this, we've also seen how building materials have skyrocketed. A ton of iron rod right now is over 1.2, 1.3 million, depending on the location, not to talk about the trip of sand, the block, the cement, and every other thing. And this is why it is very important that as the prices continue to grow, the cost of construction will continue to escalate. Now, a lot of people have talked about why are properties increasing in Lagos. If we give an instance that those who are building abroad, they have access to a loan whereby they pay between 5 to 10% interest on the loan. In Lagos, precisely, developers that go for loans are paying 30 to 35%. Now, a lot of people have asked that what exactly is the current loan rate? In fact, in some places even higher. And this is why there have been a lot of massive housing shortages. Now, what you must understand basically is that the statistics that we are seeing today as at 2025 will not be what it is 10 years from today. Now, the best beautiful thing is that whether you're thinking of investment or whether you're thinking of coming back to your country, if you have massive properties in Lagos before this time, you are going to be reaping good investment. But talk about good reaping investment, I'm talking about properties that are verifiable, properties with good title, because you see, by 2035, a lot of properties will not see that civilization. Because why? A lot of real estate development companies will be contravening the Lagos State Building Code, and a lot of properties will have to go. So it is very important you look at this. Now, what will now happen by 2035? By 2035, Lagos State is, as at 2024, the population of Lagos grew from 16.5 to 20 million. This is a statistical record of 2024 alone. And it is also predicted that the population will also grow beyond that to there's a projection estimation of Lagos population alone may go for 30 to 35 million by 2035. Now, what exactly would not be the consequences of this? There's going to be pressure on land. It has been predicted that when the massive housing shortage continues to escalate, right now, record have shown that the housing shortages that we have in Nigeria is 17 million. Now, the situation is now worse because you see, governments are not constructing enough houses. And this is why the available houses right now are going up. I gave an instance of a tenant that was paying 700,000 for a one-bedroom apartment, and the landlord woke up one day and said, if you cannot pay 1.5, you leave. And the truth is, once you leave, we have like 10, 12, 15 people who are queuing to take that apartment, because you see, the centrality and of course the importance of Lagos in the economy has made population to increase drastically. And this is why the rental opportunities or the rental properties will continue to sky high. And there's an estimated data that as migration continues to increase, there will be limited supply of rental properties. And this is why it is very important that you should lay your hands on what you can before all these changes begins to happen. Now, we have a lot of statistical record to back up some of our claims, but because of the fact that I don't want this video to be unnecessarily long, I will just stick on these three and make you to understand that the Lagos rental market is evolving. And for the fact that there is pressure on population, the demand will continue to skyrocket. The prices you are seeing today is child's play compared to what will happen. In fact, it is projected that a normal 2-bedroom apartment in Ibeju-Lekki by 2035 will be worth over 70 to 80 million. In fact, as of now, a lot of people are selling properties for 55 million, 60 million. Imagine what the value. And the truth of the matter is, would there be demand? Think about it. Without the international airport, the population of the Ibeju-Lekki axis has increased, despite the fact that the internal road on the Ibeju-Lekki is not the way it should be. But because of the fact that there is emergence of industries, hospitals, and people are now beginning to seek employment opportunities in the Ibeju-Lekki corridor, the Awoyaya corridor, the Bojije, because we have malls coming up, we have supermarket coming up, we have petrol station coming up, banks are coming to Ibeju-Lekki, we have several private hospitals. So the employment opportunities right now is gradually extending from the Lekki Phase I to the Abramadesoya to the to the Ibeju axis, and is going towards the Ibeju-Lekki axis. Imagine what will now become of Ibeju-Lekki when the Lekki International Airport has been completed. So this is a case of having an accurate understanding of what you will miss if you don't own properties in Lagos. Because by 2035, it has been predicted that people who don't own properties in Lagos will be forced to go back to their hometown. And what will be that force? The force basically is that a lot of people will not be able to afford rent, because it is projected that rent will increase by 60 to 70%. And trust me, because of the opportunities of these infrastructures and every other thing, the demand will always outweigh the supply. So this is why it is very important as a real estate investor to look at all these statistics and all these figures. It does not matter whether you like Nigeria or you are interested in what's happening in Nigeria. It is important that if Nigeria and Lagos is your place of interest, in as much as fact that your steady return is guaranteed, you should not miss out in Lagos. So this is where I'm going to draw to this curtain of what you stand to lose if you don't own properties in Lagos before 2025. If you have any further inquiries and comments, please let us interact in the comment section, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you. God bless you. See you in my next video.